You keep asking God to change your situation while refusing to change yourself. And that is why you are still exactly where you were 3 years ago. Your life is not stuck because the doors are closed. Your life is stuck because you keep showing up as the same person who got you here. You stand at the mirror every morning, frustrated with your reflection, angry at your circumstances, exhausted by the weight of unfulfilled dreams. Yet you walk out into the world wearing the same mindset that brought you nothing but disappointment yesterday. You wonder why breakthrough never comes. You wonder why the heavens seem silent. You wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you are running in place, breathing heavy, sweating, exhausted, but going absolutely nowhere. And the answer is simpler and more terrifying than you want to admit. You have not changed. Your prayers changed. Your desperation changed. Your complaints changed. But you are still operating from the same fears, the same insecurities, the same shallow thinking, the same toxic patterns that have been destroying you slowly for years. You want a new life with an old identity. You want new results with old habits. You want to be chosen by the future while clinging to the past with both hands, white knuckles, terrified of letting go. And life does not work that way. The universe does not reward your comfort. God does not bless your stagnation. Opportunity does not come to people who refuse to evolve. You say you are ready for more, but your daily routine proves otherwise. You say you want to grow, but you surround yourself with people who celebrate your mediocrity. You say you are done with the old version of yourself, but every time discomfort arrives, every time change knocks on the door, you retreat back into what is familiar, what is safe, what is slowly killing you, and you call it wisdom. You call it being careful. You call it waiting on God. But it is not wisdom, it is fear. It is the fear of becoming someone your old friends will not recognize. It is the fear of outgrowing the version of yourself that everyone got comfortable with. It is the fear of standing alone while you transform into who you were always meant to be. So you stay small. You stay stuck. You stay surrounded by voices that keep you average because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And every single day, you betray the person you could have been. You have been praying for open doors, but you have not prepared yourself to walk through them. You have been asking for opportunity, but you have not developed the discipline to sustain it. You have been crying out for breakthrough, but you have not broken the cycle of thinking that got you trapped in the first place. You want the blessing, but you do not want the becoming. You want the harvest, but you refuse to let the seed version of you die. And that is the problem. That is why you feel stuck. That is why nothing changes. Because you are trying to drag your old self into a new season, and it does not fit. The doors of your future are too narrow for the baggage you are carrying. The opportunities ahead require a version of you that does not exist yet. And until you are willing to let the old you die, the new life you are praying for will remain just outside your reach. Visible but untouchable, close but impossible. You are angry at the people who rejected you, but rejection was redirection. You are bitter about the doors that closed, but those doors were never meant for the person you were at that time. You are resentful about the years you wasted, but those years were not wasted if they taught you that you cannot keep living the same way and expect different outcomes. Every disappointment, every failure, every moment of humiliation was life screaming at you to change. But you did not listen. You medicated the pain instead of extracting the lesson. You numbed yourself instead of letting the fire refine you. You look for someone to blame instead of looking in the mirror and asking the only question that matters: who do I need to become? And now, here you are, stuck between who you were and who you need to be. Exhausted from pretending everything is fine. Tired of faking strength you do not feel. Drained from carrying a smile that does not reach your eyes. You have been wearing a mask for so long that you forgot what your real face looks like. You have been playing a role for so long that you do not even know who you are anymore. And deep down, beneath all the noise, beneath all the distractions, beneath all the excuses, you know the truth. You know you cannot keep going like this. You know something has to break. You know that if you do not change, if you do not evolve, If you do not become someone new, you will spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. And that thought terrifies you more than anything else. Not the fear of failure, not the fear of rejection, but the fear of reaching the end of your life and realizing you never became who you were created to be because you were too afraid to let go of who you were. There is a creature that spends its entire existence crawling on the ground, slow, vulnerable, invisible to the world. It eats, it survives, it moves from leaf to leaf with no vision beyond the next meal. And then one day, something inside it shifts. It stops moving. It wraps itself in darkness. It hangs in a place where it cannot see, cannot move, cannot do anything except surrender to a process it does not understand. And inside that cocoon, something violent happens. The creature does not improve. It does not get a little better. It does not upgrade itself. It dissolves completely. Its body breaks down into liquid. Everything it was, everything it knew, everything familiar turns into formless substance. And from that death, from that total disintegration, something entirely new emerges. Wings, vision, the ability to rise. The caterpillar does not become a better caterpillar. It becomes something the caterpillar could never imagine. And that is what transformation requires. Not improvement, death. The death of who you were so that who you were meant to be can finally breathe. You cannot upgrade your life with a downgraded version of yourself. You cannot walk into the future dragging the identity that belongs to your past. The manufacturer designed you for more, but the design only activates when you stop trying to function as a prototype. You were not created to stay the same. You were built to evolve, to shed, to transform, to become unrecognizable to the person you were last year. But evolution is not comfortable. Growth is not pretty. Becoming is not a gentle process. It is violent. It is painful. It strips you of everything you thought defined you and leaves you in the dark, wondering if you will survive. And most people quit right there, right in the cocoon, right in the breaking, right when the old version is dissolving and the new one has not formed yet. They panic. They claw their way back to what is familiar. They abort the process because they cannot handle the in-between, the formless stage, the place where you are no longer who you were but not yet who you are becoming. Look at the snake. It grows, but its skin does not. So it has to shed. It has to rub against rocks, scrape itself raw, force its way out of the covering that once protected it, but now suffocates it. And if it does not shed, it dies. The very thing that kept it safe becomes the thing that kills it. That is, you. That old identity, that old way of thinking, those old relationships that once felt like home, they are now choking the life out of you. But you are too sentimental to let go. You are too attached to comfort. You are too afraid of the vulnerability that comes with shedding your skin and standing raw in the open air. So you stay covered. You stay small. You stay trapped inside a version of yourself that expired years ago. And you wonder why you feel suffocated. You wonder why nothing fits anymore. You wonder why every door feels too narrow. It is because you are trying to move forward in skin that belongs to your past. The seed does not politely ask the soil to let it grow. It breaks. It cracks open. It dies in the dark. No one sees it. No one celebrates it. No one even knows it is happening. The seed spends months, sometimes years, buried in dirt, surrounded by darkness, crushed by the weight of everything above it. And in that pressure, in that isolation, in that invisible season, it transforms. Roots grow down before anything grows up. Strength develops in secret. The foundation is built where no one is watching. And when it finally breaks through the surface, when it finally becomes visible, people say it happened overnight. They say it is luck. They say it is a miracle. But the seed knows the truth. The seed knows it spent years in the dark becoming strong enough to reach the light. And you are in that season right now. You are buried. You are invisible. You are in the dark, and it feels like death. It feels like nothing is happening. It feels like you are wasting time while everyone else is rising. But you are not dying. You are becoming. The pressure is not breaking you. It is forming you. The darkness is not your prison. It is your preparation. The potter does not destroy the clay. He shapes it. But to the clay, the wheel feels like chaos. The spinning is disorienting. The pressure is unbearable. The hands that push and pull and reshape feel violent. And the clay does not understand that the potter is not angry. The potter is intentional. Every push has purpose. Every squeeze has vision. The potter sees the final form before the clay does. And the clay that resists, the clay that refuses to bend, the clay that fights the process, it cracks, it breaks, it becomes unusable. But the clay that surrenders, the clay that trusts the pressure, the clay that allows itself to be reshaped, it becomes a masterpiece. It becomes something beautiful, something strong, something designed to hold what the formless clay never could. You are on the wheel. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it is disorienting. Yes, you do not understand why this is happening to you. But the potter is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He is reshaping you. He is forming you into a vessel strong enough to carry the future you keep praying for. The lion cub does not become a king by staying close to the pride. It wanders. It isolates. It hunts alone. It fails. It gets injured. It learns that survival is not given. It is earned. And in that isolation, something awakens. Instinct sharpens. Strength builds. Confidence grows. The cub stops looking for protection and becomes the protector. It stops seeking approval and starts commanding respect. But that transformation only happens in the wilderness. It only happens when comfort is removed, when safety is stripped away, when the cub has no choice but to become what it was designed to be. And you are in the wilderness right now. You are alone. You are uncomfortable. You are in a season where nothing makes sense and no one understands. And you think something is wrong. You think you are being punished. You think God has forgotten you. But you are not being punished. You are being activated. The isolation is intentional. The silence is strategic. You are not being abandoned. You are being trained. And when you emerge from this season, you will not be the same. You will walk different, talk different, think different. You will carry an authority that cannot be taught, only earned. You will have a strength that only comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. The tallest trees in the forest do not grow in crowds. They grow in silence, in isolation, far from the noise. They do not rush. They do not compete. They do not compare themselves to the trees around them. They send their roots deep, deeper than anyone can see, and they grow slowly, steadily, silently. And decades later, they stand taller than everything around them. Not because they were lucky, not because they had it easy, but because they focused on depth before height. They built foundation before they sought visibility. And you need to do the same. Stop rushing. Stop comparing. Stop looking at everyone else's growth and feeling like you are behind. You are not behind. You are building roots. You are going deep. And when your season comes, when your time arrives, you will rise in a way that no one can deny and nothing can stop. There was a craftsman who lived at the edge of a small village. He was known for one thing: blades, swords so sharp they could split a single hair, knives so precise they became extensions of the hand. But no one ever saw him work. His shop was always closed. His forge was always dark. Years would pass between creations. People grew impatient. They questioned his skill. They wondered if he had lost his gift. They went to other craftsmen who worked faster, who produced more, who kept their doors open and their fires burning constantly. But those blades dulled quickly. Those swords broke under pressure. And when desperation came, when someone needed a blade that would not fail, they returned to the craftsman at the edge of the village. And when he finally opened his door and presented his work, it was flawless, perfect, worth the wait. Someone once asked him why he took so long, why he disappeared for years, why he refused to rush. And he said this, I do not sharpen blades, I transform metal, and transformation cannot be rushed. You do not make a masterpiece by working faster. You make it by refusing to present anything less than what it was designed to become. And that is what is happening to you right now. You are not being delayed. You are being sharpened. You are not falling behind. You are being transformed. And the world will wait because what is being formed in you cannot be duplicated by anyone working faster. There was a traveler who spent years walking city to city, town to town, searching for something he could not name. He thought changing locations would change his life. He thought new scenery would bring new results. But everywhere he went, he found the same problems, the same type of people, the same disappointments, the same emptiness, different streets, same struggle, different faces, same pain. He grew bitter. He blamed the cities. He blamed the people. He blamed the roads. Until one night, exhausted and broken, he stopped walking. He sat by a river and stared at his reflection. And for the first time, he saw the truth. The problem was not the destination. It was the traveler. He had been carrying the same fears, the same wounds, the same broken belief systems from place to place. He had been dragging his past into every future, and no matter how far he walked, he could never outrun himself. So he made a decision. He stopped trying to find a new place and started becoming a new person. He stopped blaming his surroundings and started changing his internal compass. And when he finally transformed, when he finally healed, when he finally became someone different, he did not need to keep searching, because the life he was looking for was not in a location. It was in the person he had been avoiding becoming. There was an eagle egg that fell from a cliffside nest and landed in a chicken coop. It hatched among chickens. It was raised by chickens. It walked like them, ate like them, thought like them. It never looked up. It never spread its wings. It never questioned why it felt different, why something inside it was restless, why scratching in the dirt never satisfied the hunger in its chest. And it would have died a chicken if a storm had not come. The wind ripped the roof off the coop. Rain poured in. The chickens panicked, huddled together, terrified. But the eagle felt something stir, something ancient, something that had been sleeping its entire life. And when lightning split the sky and thunder shook the ground, the eagle looked up. For the first time, it saw the cliffs. For the first time, it saw others like it, soaring, untouchable, free. And in that moment, it knew it was not a chicken. It never had been. It had just been living beneath its design. So it climbed. It struggled. It stumbled. The chickens mocked it, called it crazy, told it to come back down where it was safe. But the eagle did not listen. It reached the edge of the coop, spread wings it did not know how to use, and jumped. And for a terrifying moment, it fell. But then instinct kicked in. Wings caught air. Muscles remembered what the mind had forgotten. And it flew, not because it was taught, not because it was ready, but because it finally stopped pretending to be something it was not. Before I continue, answer one question honestly. Are you waiting for your life to change, or are you terrified of becoming the person your new life requires? Because there is a difference. Waiting is passive. Becoming is active. Waiting keeps you stuck. Becoming sets you free. Waiting for the right opportunity means you are not ready. Becoming the right person means opportunity cannot pass you by. So which one are you doing? Are you sitting in the same place, doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, hoping something external will shift? Or are you actively, intentionally, painfully transforming into someone your current circumstances cannot contain? If you are still listening, something inside you is waking up. Something that has been asleep for years is starting to stir. You feel it. That restlessness, that discomfort, that voice that keeps whispering you were made for more. And you have two choices. You can silence it again, distract yourself, numb it, go back to sleep. Or you can listen. You can surrender. You can stop resisting the process and start trusting it. Because what is waking up inside you is not anxiety. It is not fear. It is not confusion. It is your true identity trying to break free from the false one you have been wearing for too long. You grow in silence. You heal in silence. You rise in silence. And the world will only see the result, never the process. They will see the wings, but not the cocoon. They will see the tree, but not the roots. They will see the blade, but not the fire. And that is fine. Because transformation is not a performance. It is not meant to be publicized. It is not meant to be explained to people who are not ready to understand. You do not owe anyone a breakdown of your becoming. You do not owe anyone access to your wilderness season. You do not owe anyone proof that you are changing. You just change quietly, completely, irreversibly. And when you emerge, when you finally step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be, they will ask what happened. They will want to know your secret. They will try to replicate your journey, but they cannot. Because your transformation was custom designed for you. Your pressure was specifically measured. Your darkness had a purpose only you could fulfill. And the person you are becoming is not a copy of anyone else. It is the original design that was buried under years of trying to fit in, trying to please people, trying to be who they needed you to be instead of who you were created to be. You cannot carry old thinking into new dimensions. You cannot bring old habits into new opportunities. You cannot drag old identities into new callings. The door is too narrow. The path is too steep. The weight will crush you before you reach the top. So you have to let go. You have to release the relationships that are anchored to your past. You have to walk away from environments that celebrate the version of you that no longer exists. You have to stop seeking validation from people who benefited from your brokenness. And yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will be lonely. Yes, you will be misunderstood. They will call you proud. They will say you changed for the worse. They will accuse you of thinking you are better than them. And maybe you are. Not better as a human being, but better than the person you used to be. Stronger, wiser, more aligned with purpose, more committed to truth, more willing to walk alone than to stay comfortable in dysfunction. And if that makes them uncomfortable, that is not your problem. Your responsibility is not to stay small so others feel big. Your responsibility is to become everything you were designed to be, even if it costs you everyone who only loved the limited version. You keep waiting for permission to change. You keep waiting for someone to tell you it is okay to outgrow them. You keep waiting for approval to step into the next version of yourself. But that permission will never come because the people around you benefit from you staying the same. Your growth disrupts their comfort. Your transformation exposes their stagnation. Your courage highlights their fear, so they will never release you. They will never bless your departure. They will never celebrate your evolution. You will have to give yourself permission. You will have to validate your own growth. You will have to walk away without their approval, without their understanding, without their support. And that will be the most terrifying and most liberating thing you have ever done. Because for the first time in your life, you will stop living for their expectations and start living for your destiny. For the first time, you will stop asking if you are allowed to change and start recognizing that you must change, not because you want to, but because staying the same is no longer an option. The old version of you is suffocating. The old life is collapsing. The old patterns are failing. And you can either panic and try to rebuild what is crumbling, or you can let it fall, let it burn, let it die, and trust that what rises from the ashes will be stronger, truer, more aligned with the future that has been waiting for you. Here is what most people do not understand. Your breakthrough is not coming to you. It is coming through you. The doors you are praying to open will not open for the person you are right now. They will open for the person you are becoming. The opportunities you are asking for are already here, but you cannot see them because you are still looking through the lens of your old identity. You are still thinking like the caterpillar while praying for wings. You are still operating like the seed while asking for harvest. You are still living like the cub while demanding to be treated like the king. And it does not work that way. The crown does not come before the wilderness. The harvest does not come before the breaking. The wings do not come before the death. You have to become first. You have to transform first. You have to let the old you die first. And then, only then, does the life you have been praying for become accessible. Not because it was not available, but because you were not ready. You were not built for it yet. You were not strong enough, wise enough, whole enough to sustain it. But you are being built now. You are being forged now. You are being prepared now. And every moment of pressure, every season of isolation, every ounce of pain is shaping you into someone who can carry what is coming without breaking. Stop asking why this is taking so long. Stop comparing your timeline to everyone else's. Stop feeling like you are behind because you are not where you thought you would be. You are exactly where you need to be. The delay is not denial. The waiting is not wasted. The silence is not abandonment. You are in the cocoon. You are in the forge. You are in the potter's hands. And what is being formed in you is so specific, so powerful, so undeniable that it requires this much time, this much pressure, this much isolation. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared. You are not being forgotten. You are being refined. And when you finally emerge, when you finally step into the fullness of your transformation, you will understand why it took this long. You will see why the process could not be rushed. You will recognize that every closed door protected you from a life you were not ready to manage. Every rejection redirected you toward a path you were not mature enough to walk. Every disappointment was a divine appointment with the version of yourself that had to die so the real you could live. And here is the most powerful part. The moment you truly change, everything around you must shift. Not because you are forcing it, not because you are manipulating it, but because you are no longer a vibrational match for the old life. You cannot be the same person and expect to stay in the same place. It is spiritually impossible. When you transform, the universe has to rearrange itself around your new frequency. People will fall away without explanation. Doors will close that you thought you needed. Opportunities will vanish that you were chasing. And it will feel like loss. It will feel like everything is falling apart. But it is not falling apart. It is falling into place. It is making room. It is clearing space for what matches who you are now, not who you were. And what is coming, what is aligning, what is about to enter your life will be so much greater than what you lost that you will wonder why you held on so long. You are not the same person who started reading this. Something shifted. Something broke open. Something that was sleeping just woke up. And now you have a decision to make. You can ignore it. You can go back to normal. You can pretend this moment did not happen. Or you can honor it. You can act on it. You can take one step, just one, toward becoming the person this message was written for. Because this was not random. You did not stumble on this by accident. Your soul was searching, and this found you. Your spirit was hungry, and this fed you. Your future was calling, and this answered. So do not waste it. Do not let this be another moment of inspiration that fades by tomorrow. Let this be the line in the sand. Let this be the moment you stop waiting for your life to change and start changing yourself. Let this be the day you stop being a hostage to your past and start becoming the architect of your future. You were not born to blend in. You were not created to stay comfortable. You were not designed to live small, think small, dream small. You were made to evolve, to rise, to transform into something the world has never seen. And the only thing standing between you and that destiny is the version of you that refuses to die. So let it go. Let it fall. Let it burn. Mourn it if you need to. Grieve the loss of who you used to be. But do not resurrect it. Do not go back. Do not try to rebuild what God is tearing down. Because on the other side of this death is a life so full, so powerful, so aligned with purpose that you will not recognize yourself. And the people who knew you before will not recognize you either. And that is how you will know you have truly changed. Not because you feel different, but because everything around you has shifted to match the person you have become. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you want more messages that grow your soul, subscribe, because your journey has just begun. You have spent enough years being someone else's version of you. You have spent enough time dimming your light so others could feel comfortable. You have spent enough energy trying to fix what was never meant to last. And now, standing at the edge of this moment, you feel it. That pull, that tension, that war between who you have been and who you are meant to become. And the choice is yours. It has always been yours. But most people never make it. Most people stand at this exact crossroads, feel this exact conviction, sense this exact awakening, and then walk back into the familiar. They choose comfort over calling. They choose approval over authenticity. They choose the slow death of staying the same over the painful rebirth of transformation. And 20 years later, they are still standing in the same place, surrounded by the same problems, living the same limited life, wondering what would have happened if they had just been brave enough to change. But you are still here. You are still listening. You are still breathing in every word like oxygen to a suffocating soul. And that means something. That means the seed inside you is not dead. That means the fire inside you has not gone out. That means the person you were created to be is still fighting for space, still pushing against the walls of the identity you built to survive, still demanding to be released. And you can feel it now. You can feel the restlessness, the discomfort, the undeniable knowing that you cannot go back to normal. You cannot unsee what you just saw. You cannot unhear what you just heard. You cannot pretend that everything is fine when your soul is screaming that it is time to move, time to shift, time to become. So what are you going to do? Are you going to close this and go back to scrolling? Are you going to let this moment pass like every other moment of conviction that faded into nothing? Are you going to nod your head, feel inspired for 5 minutes, and then return to the exact same routine that has been keeping you trapped? Or are you going to let this be different? Are you going to let this be the catalyst? Are you going to let this be the moment you stop negotiating with mediocrity and start demanding more from yourself? Because change does not happen when you feel like it. Change happens when you decide, when you draw the line, when you say enough, when you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start moving with imperfect courage. The life you want is on the other side of the person you need to become. The doors you are praying for are waiting for a version of you that does not exist yet. The future you keep asking for is standing just outside your current capacity, watching, waiting, wondering if you will ever grow into it. And it will not come to you. You have to go to it. You have to stretch. You have to break. You have to shed every layer of comfort, every false identity, every limiting belief, every toxic relationship, every self-sabotaging habit that has kept you small. And yes, it will cost you. It will cost you friendships that were built on your brokenness. It will cost you the approval of people who needed you weak. It will cost you the comfort of blending in, playing it safe, staying average. But what you gain will be worth every single thing you lose. You will gain yourself, the real you. The you that has been buried under years of conditioning, years of people-pleasing, years of pretending. The you that knows what you want. The you that walks with authority. The you that does not apologize for taking up space. The you that speaks truth even when your voice shakes. The you that sets boundaries without guilt. The you that chooses purpose over popularity. The you that rises even when no one is clapping. That version of you is not coming someday. That version of you is being formed right now in this pressure, in this discomfort, in this moment of decision. And the only question that matters is whether you will cooperate with the process or resist it. Stop resisting. Stop fighting the very thing that is trying to save you. Stop clinging to the old version like it is a lifeline when it is actually an anchor. Let go. Surrender. Trust that what is breaking you is also making you. Trust that what is stripping you is also shaping you. Trust that the chaos you are in is not destruction. It is reconstruction. And when the dust settles, when the noise fades, when the process is complete, you will stand in a life you do not recognize, with a strength you did not know you had, with a clarity you have been searching for your entire life, with a peace that does not make sense to anyone but you, because you changed. And when you changed, everything had to change with you. That is the law. That is the promise. That is the guarantee. If you change, your life must change. So change. And watch what happens next.